Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I bring a beautiful story for you. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel because we bring original stories with a human narration to give you best listening experience. So let's start today's story.
Emily had always believed she knew her parents. Her mom, Lisa, was organized. Her dad, Michael, was calm and predictable. They had been married for almost 30 years. Their home was quiet, peaceful, comfortable. Nothing exciting ever seemed to happen. At least that was what Emily believed. Then one Monday morning, everything changed. Lisa packed a small suitcase. She kissed Michael on the cheek. I'll be gone for 1 week, she said with a smile. Emily was visiting for a few days before returning to her apartment. She expected the week to be simple. She planned to help her dad around the house, watch movies, cook dinner, maybe finally convince him to replace the old coffee maker. Michael waved as Lisa drove away. Then he stood silently in the driveway, watching until the car disappeared. Emily walked beside him. You okay, Dad? He smiled. Of course. But something about that smile felt different. It didn't quite reach his eyes. The first day felt normal. Michael watered the flowers, read the newspaper, made coffee. Everything followed his usual routine until Tuesday morning. Emily woke up early. She looked outside. Her dad's truck was gone. That was strange. Michael never left before sunrise. She checked the kitchen clock. 5:15 a.m. Where could he be? When he returned 2 hours later, he carried several paper bags. He quickly placed them in the garage. Before Emily could ask, he closed the door. Just picked up a few things. His answer sounded rehearsed. Emily laughed. Since when do groceries stay in the garage? Michael paused, then smiled. You asked too many questions. It sounded playful, but Emily noticed he changed the subject immediately. That afternoon, another surprise arrived. A delivery truck stopped outside. The driver unloaded several large wooden boxes. Michael signed the papers quickly. Where do you want these? The driver asked. The backyard. Emily stepped onto the porch. What did you order? Michael answered almost too fast. Nothing important. Nothing important? The boxes were huge. She noticed him checking the shipping labels before pulling them off, almost like he didn't want anyone reading them. Now Emily's curiosity grew stronger. That evening, her dad spent hours outside. She watched through the kitchen window. He measured something with a tape measure, moved the wooden boxes, wrote notes on a small pad. Every time Emily opened the back door, he quietly closed his notebook. Not yet, he said. Not yet what? You will see. His mysterious smile only made her more curious. The next morning, he became even stranger. Michael dressed nicer than usual fresh blue shirt, clean shoes, even a little cologne. Emily raised an eyebrow. Going somewhere special? He laughed softly. Maybe, but mom isn't even here. I know. That answer made no sense. An hour later, he drove away again. Emily watched from the window. Her father wasn't acting like himself. He wasn't doing anything wrong, but he was clearly hiding something. She could not stop wondering why. That afternoon, Emily heard music coming from the backyard. Soft music, old love song. She slowly walked towards the fence. Emily's heart started beating faster. She looked through the fence again. The person beside Michael was an older woman. She smiled warmly. She looked about the same age as her dad. Emily had never seen her before. 100 questions filled her mind. Who was she? Why was dad keeping this a secret? Emily stayed quiet. She listened carefully. The woman held a notebook. Michael pointed towards the backyard. I think the flowers should go here, he said. She nodded. Lisa would love that. Emily blinked. Did she just say mom's name? Now nothing made sense. She stepped away before they noticed her. That evening, Michael came inside carrying a box. Emily tried to sound casual. So, how was your day? He smiled. Busy. I heard someone talking outside. Michael paused for a second. Then he nodded. Yes. Who was she? Instead of looking nervous, he smiled. Someone helping me. Helping with what? He picked up a glass of water. You will understand soon. Emily sighed. You have been saying that all week. He laughed softly. I know, but trust me. Emily wanted to believe him, still something felt unusual. The next morning, another delivery truck arrived. This time it brought white garden stones, a wooden bench, and several large flower pots. Michael carefully checked every item. Emily watched from the porch. This doesn't look like an ordinary project. It isn't, Michael replied. He carried the bench into the backyard. Emily noticed something carved into the wood. Before she could read it, he covered it with a blanket. Again, another secret. Later that afternoon, Emily visited her friend Eva. She told her everything the earliest mornings, the mystery woman, the boxes, the flowers, the hidden bench. Eva listened quietly, then she smiled. I don't think your dad is hiding something bad. What makes you say that? He sounds excited, not guilty. Emily thought about that. Eva had a point. Her father did not seem worried, he seemed hopeful. When Emily returned home, he saw Michael sitting alone on the porch. He looked at an old photo album. She sat beside him. He slowly turned the page. There was a picture from his wedding day. Michael smiled at the photo. Your mom looked beautiful. Emily smiled too. She still does, he noted, every single day. His eyes became watery for just a second. Then he closed the album. I've been lucky. Emily looked at him carefully. Maybe she had misunderstood everything. Maybe this wasn't about hiding something. Maybe it was about creating something. Just before sunset, the mystery woman returned. This time, Emily walked outside instead of watching him from a distance. Michael looked up. I guess it's time. The woman smiled kindly. Hello, Emily. My name is Grace. I am an old friend of your mother's. Emily looked at her father. You know, Mom? Grace laughed. For more than 35 years, Emily felt relieved. But one question remained. If you are mom's friend, she looked around the backyard. Then why is all of this a secret? Michael smiled. He, Emily looked at her dad. The day that changed your lives? Michael smiled. Your mom and I met exactly 30 years ago next week. Emily's eyes grew wide. I can't believe I forgot. Michael laughed. Your mom would probably forgot too. Grace smiled. That is why we have been working so hard. Emily looked around the backyard again. The flowers, the new bench, the lights waiting to be hung, everything suddenly started to make sense. This is all for mom, Michael noted, every single bit of it. Emily felt a wave of relief. She had spent days imagining the wrong things. Now she felt a little guilty. I should have trusted you. Michael placed a hand on her shoulder. It's okay. I wanted it to be a surprise. Grace opened her notebook. We still have a lot to finish, Emily smiled. Then tell me what to do. For the rest of the afternoon, they worked together. Emily planted colorful flowers, Grace arranged small lanterns along the garden path. Michael carefully sanded the wooden bench. When he finally removed the blanket, Emily saw the message carved into it. Forever started here. Below the words were two small hearts and one date. This day her parents finally met. Emily smiled. It is beautiful. Michael looked at the bench. I wanted your mom to have something that would last. As the sun began to set, another surprise arrived. A delivery driver carried a large wrapped package. Michael signed for it carefully. Emily laughed. Another secret? Michael grinned. This is the last one. He slowly opened the box. Inside was a framed photograph. It showed Michael and Lisa as young adults. Both were smiling, standing beside an old oak tree. Grace laughed. I took that picture. Michael looked at it quietly. I've been searching for this photo for years. Emily noticed something else. There was an empty space beside the frame. What goes there? Michael smiled. A new family picture, one we will take next week. Emily could already imagine it, her parents standing together, smiling just like they had years ago. That evening, they tested the garden lights. Tiny warm lights filled the backyard. The space looked magical. Emily whispered, Mom is going to cry. Michael laughed softly. I probably will too. Then his phone rang. He looked at the screen. It was Lisa. Emily expected to answer right away. Instead, he looked at Grace, then at the backyard. Everything was finally coming together. He answered with a calm voice. Hi, sweetheart. Lisa sounded cheerful. I have some news. Michael smiled. I have news too. Lisa laughed. No, mine can't wait. There was a short silence. Then she said something that it made Michael's smile slowly disappear. Emily watched her father's face change. Whatever mom had just said, it was completely unexpected. Emily looked at her father. His smile had faded. He stayed quiet for a moment. Then he finally spoke. Really? Lisa laughed on the phone. I could not keep it a secret anymore. Michael smiled again. This time there were tears in his eyes. That's wonderful. After the call ended, Emily rushed over. That what happened? Michael took a deep breath. Your mom is coming home 1 day earlier. Emily's eyes grew wide. What? The backyard isn't finished. Grace looked at the flowers. We have less than 24 hours. For a second, nobody moved. Then Michael clapped his hands. Let's get to work. The next morning started before sunrise. Emily planted the last flowers. Grace hung the final strings of lights. Michael carefully placed the framed photo on the small wooden table. Then he set the carved bench in its place. It looked perfect. Just before noon, everything was ready. The backyard had become a peaceful little garden. Colorful flowers filled every corner. Soft lights hung between the trees. The bench faced a small path lined with white stones. Emily smiled. It looked beautiful. Michael looked around quietly. It looks like our big. A few hours later, Lisa's car pulled into the driveway. Emily ran outside to welcome her. Lisa hugged her tightly. I missed you. I missed you too, Mom. Michael walked to the front door with a smile. Welcome home. Lisa laughed. You have been acting very strange this week. Michael smiled. I know. I think it's time. He gently held her hand. Then he led her to the backyard. As Lisa stepped through the gate, she stopped. She looked around in complete silence. The flowers, the lights, the bench, the old photograph, everything was filled with memories. Tears slowly filled her eyes. Oh, Michael. She could not say another word. Michael walked to the bench. He gently touched the carved words. Forever started here. Then he looked at Lisa. 30 years ago, you gave me the happiest day of my life. You have filled every year since then with love. I wanted to give you one place that reminds us of where our journey began. Lisa hugged him tightly. I don't need a perfect gift. You have always been my favorite place. Emily quietly wiped away a tear. Grace smiled from across the garden. She secretly took one more photograph, just like she had done 30 years earlier. This time, it showed more than two people. It showed a family, standing together, laughing, holding on to the moment that truly mattered. Later that evening, Emily looked at the new framed family photo. It now sat beside the old one, 30 years apart, but the smiles were exactly the same. On her way home that next morning, Emily realized something important. Real love isn't always loud, it isn't shown with expensive gifts. Sometimes it is found in early mornings, hidden plans, quiet hard work, and a backyard built with love. That was the real surprise, not what her dad had been hiding, but how deeply he loved her mom after all those years.